Hello everyone and welcome back. We're going to go over the algebra unit for the study guide. If at any time I go too fast, just pause the video, but I'm going to go through several problems with you, and if you have any questions, just make sure you ask in class for us to go over these problems. So I'm going to start with number one. This is evaluating, so you're going to plug in the variable a and b. So I'm going to first rewrite the problem. Square root of 169 minus 3 times the absolute value of 5 plus 1. All right, the next step, I'm going to do possibly a couple of steps inside. So this is 2, make sure you bring that 2 down. This is 13 minus 3. The absolute value of 5 is 5 plus 1. All right, next step. 2, 13 minus 3 times 6. Next step. We're going to take the 2 again. This is 13 minus 18, and then 2 times a negative 5, which gives you a negative 10, which is letter A. All right, number 2, simplify the following expressions when A is negative 3 and B is 6. Don't let these large problems scare you. You just need to do one step at a time. So I'm just going to plug in the variable 6 minus 4. Now, a squared is a is negative 3. So what I would do is always put the negative 3 in parentheses and square it because you're squaring the whole negative 3. Minus 2 times 6. Then you're adding the square root of 193 minus a negative 3. So be careful there. All right, next step. 6 minus 4 times 9 minus 12 plus the square root of 196. Next step. 6 minus 4 times a negative 3 plus 14. Next step. 6 plus 12, because you have a negative 4 times a negative 3, plus 14. 18 plus 14 gives you 32. That answer is D. All right, number 3. Next page. All right, number 3, another substitution. Make sure you take your time on these. So we're going to substitute. So I have a negative 2 times 6 over the absolute value of 6 plus the square root of a negative 2 plus 18. All right, that looks like negative 12 divided by 6 plus the square root of 16. That equals a negative 2 plus 4 equals a positive 2. Letter B. All right, number 4, another evaluating problem, but this time you have a fraction. Of course, you can always change your fraction to a decimal. So 3 plus 12 times 1/4, or you can use a 0.25 over 4 times 8 minus 8. That turns into 3 plus 3 over 32 minus 8, which is 6 over 24, which is 1/4. And that is letter A. Okay, sorry. I thought I was not videotaping there for a minute. All right, there we go. All right, number 5. All right, which expression has a value of 6 if A equals 49 and B equals 1/4? The correct answer was B. So it is, let's see, the square root of A, which is the square root of 49 plus 5 times a negative 1/4 plus 1/4. And that turns into 7 minus 5/4 plus a 1/4, which you're actually subtracting. So I did 7 and 4/4 minus 1 and 1/4, which gives you, let's see, that I had already changed to a 6. So that's 5 and 3/4 plus the 1/4, which was over here, which equals 6. All right, number 6. Okay, this one is a model. So what you want to do is set up the equation and then solve it. So what you have here is 5x. So these are your x's right here. So 5x, 5x. Then you have a negative x here and a negative x here. So that's minus 2x. Then you have a positive 3, 1, 2, 3, and you have a negative 4 or minus 4. That equals a negative 1x minus 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 6. So the next step is you want to combine your like terms. So I have a 5x minus 2x on this side, which gives me 3x. And then a plus 3 minus 4 is a negative 1. On the right side, I have a negative 1x plus 3. All right, let's add 1x to both sides. This is 4x minus 1 equals 3. Let's add 1 to both sides. Add 1 to both sides. And it is 4x equals 4. Divide both sides by 4. And x equals 1. Click on the next video for the rest of the problems.